Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel and today we are going to talk about thalamus. So let's start topic with introduction. Thalamus is a vital structure of brain that serves as a relay and processing center for sensory and motor information. It is located deep within the forebrain. It plays a central role in integrating and transmitting signals to various cortical areas. It is often referred to as a gateway to the cerebral cortex. The thalamus influences perception, consciousness, motor control, sleep, and cognition. Location and structure of thalamus. Thalamus is situated in the diencephalon, above the brainstem and between the cerebral cortex and the midbrain. It lies on either side of third ventricle and it is connected by a thin band of gray matter known as interthalamic adhesion. Each thalamus is an ovoid mass of gray matter. It is divided into several nuclei, each with specific function and connection. Thalamus receives blood supply mainly from branches of posterior cerebral artery. Structural division of thalamus. Thalamus is divided into several groups of nuclei by a thin sheet of white matter called the internal medullary lamina. These divisions include anterior nuclei, medial nuclei or dorsomedial nuclei, and lateral nuclei, interlaminar nuclei, reticular nucleus, and pulvinar nucleus. Now let's talk about these nuclei one by one. So first nuclei of thalamus is anterior nuclei. It is involved in memory and learning. It is strongly connected with the limbic system, particularly the hippocampus and cingulate gyrus. Second nuclei of thalamus is medial nuclei, that is also called as dorsomedial nuclei. It connects to the prefrontal cortex. It plays a role in emotions, personality, judgment, and higher cognitive functions. Third nuclei of thalamus is lateral nuclei. It is further divided into dorsal and ventral group. Ventral group is particularly important because it relays motor and sensory information, and as it has ventral anterior nucleus that relay motor signal from basal ganglia to motor cortex, and ventral lateral nucleus that coordinates motor control through connection with the cerebellum and motor cortex. And also it has ventral posterior nucleus that process somatosensory information like touch, pain, temperature, and proprioception from the body and face. Fourth nuclei of thalamus is intralaminar nuclei that is embedded within the internal medullary lamina. It is involved in arousal, attention, and pain perception. Fifth nuclei of thalamus is reticular nucleus. It lies along the lateral surface of the thalamus. It regulates thalamic activity by inhibitory, that is also called as GABAergic control over other thalamic nuclei. Sixth nuclei of thalamus is pulvinar nucleus, that is largest nucleus of the thalamus. It is associated with visual processing, attention, and integration of sensory input. Functions of thalamus. The thalamus is multifunctional structure with several key roles. They include sensory relay, as all sensory information passes through the thalamus before reaching the cerebral cortex. It filters, integrates, and prioritizes sensory input. Second function of thalamus is motor integration, as it relays motor signals between the cerebellum, basal ganglia, and motor cortex. It helps in planning and coordination of voluntary movements. Third function of thalamus is regulation of consciousness and sleep, and it plays a vital role in maintaining wakefulness and regulating sleep-wake cycles. It works with the reticular activating system to modulate level of arousals. Fourth function of thalamus is cognitive and emotional processing, as it influences thought, decision making, and emotional regulation through its connection with the prefrontal cortex and limbic system. Fifth function of thalamus is pain perception, as it processes and relays nociceptive signals contributing to the perception of the pain. Clinical significance of thalamus. Damage or dysfunction of thalamus can result in significant neurological disorders. First is thalamic stroke that can cause sensory loss, motor weakness, or thalamic pain syndrome, that is chronic severe burning pain. Second significance is thalamic tumors, as it may lead to compression symptoms like headache, cognitive decline, or sensory motor deficits. Third significance is Parkinson's disease, that is thalamic involvement in basal ganglia circuits that contributes to movement disorder. Fourth significance is sleep disorders, as abnormal thalamic function can disrupt sleep regulation. Fifth significance is psychiatric disorders as dysfunction of medial thalamic nuclei has been linked with schizophrenia, depression, and memory impairment. Conclusion of this lecture video. Thalamus is a central hub of brain acting as a relay, filter, and integrator of information. Beyond sensory and motor roles, it regulates sleep, consciousness, emotion, and cognition. Due to its critical position and extensive connection, any damage to thalamus can lead to profound neurological deficits. This understanding the thalamus is essential in both neurosciences and clinical neurology. And this was all about thalamus. Hopefully you liked the video. If you do, don't forget to like, share, subscribe and comment. Thank you for watching.